Hello and welcome to Real Metal. I am your host, Mark. I'd like to introduce our panel. Joining us once again, we have JP and our special guest from Exit Strategy. Yeah. West DeLeo. This is the second time I've done that, and I still managed to fuck it up. And once again, our Real Metal crew, James Neal. Now, this time around, guys, we watched the Kiss movie, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. JP, have you ever seen this movie before?
Once, way back when I was a kid, probably a few years after it came out, yeah.
Wes?
No, that was my first time.
This is my first time, and I have to say I'm in deep regret that I watched the movie.
Okay, I'm going to try and find a trailer for this for us to play.
Destroy you! All of you! You kids will be my instrument! Yikes! Hates it more like it. We've got to get out of here. I don't believe it! Yes, you can believe it.
And now on NBC Saturday Night at the Movies, Kiss Meets the Phantom.
Okay, guys, who's going to synopsize this wonderful piece?
Why don't we let our special guest do it this time? 30 seconds or less.
It was so bad that I'm not mad at it.
Okay, well, I'll give a try for a synopsis. There's a amusement park, and Kiss are going to be performing at this amusement park
3 nights in a row.
3 nights in a row, yeah. Or there's a matinee show as well. So they're going to be performing at this park. One of the park's main engineers, I guess.
Mad scientist.
Yeah, we don't know that off the top. He's an engineer.
Regular scientist.
Slightly disgruntled.
Is pissed that Kiss is going to be playing because I think it affects his budget somehow. Really doesn't matter. And he starts making robots, and they fight Kiss. Who fucking knows, but it's something like that.
There's a love story mixed in there somehow that I'm really unhappy about. We'll get to that later.
So what were your initial impressions of the film, guys?
Well, I'm an unapologetic Kiss fan.
Yeah.
I was just kind of chuckled a lot through it. It was such goofy, weird fun. I mean, setting movie-making craft aside, it was funny and fun.
What were your initial impressions, Wes?
I just thought the dialogue was so bad that it was amusing. it was great. Yeah, I liked it lots.
James?
I'm not a big Kiss fan, and as we saw during the movie there, that it was a nice break to actually hear Kiss music when they were acting.
Well, Kiss doesn't show up into the movie until like 30 minutes in. We get all this wonderful backstory before that about a man building robots.
Character development.
And then
All these creepy looking extras looking at this one girl too.
and then it's just yips and growls out of him for the first
Well, yeah, I guess let's talk about Kiss's performance a little bit. One of the things I was reading a little bit about, that Peter Criss's voice wasn't used in it because he never showed up for the ADR sessions after the film was finished. So they used a voice actor who I looked into a little bit, who's been in an awful lot of cartoons and video games. Shitload of video games. He was Duke in the original G.I. Joe cartoon. He was in a bunch of Voltron stuff as well. He was the voice of Peter Criss, because we never got to hear Peter Criss's real voice. We certainly did get to hear Ace's, though.
Yeah, unique voice.
Ack! It's said that like 3 times. Where to even go with this fucking film?
Well, you know what? I sort of could set aside the fact that it was set in the 70s. Because seeing a lot of old sci-fi from that days, it was sort of like a cardboard box wrapped with tinfoil and little red blinking light. That was like high-tech special effects. So it really for the time, they were trying to do something a bit progressive with a little bit of animation on the screen with Star Child and the Demon Fire and stuff like that. So you can't fault them for trying, but it's still, in retrospect, compared to modern CGI and effects, it's just like looks pretty poor quality.
Well, I think they tried to sell the script to the band as Hard Day's Night meets Star Wars.
Yes.
Is how they tried to sell it to the band. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that on a television budget.
My favorite part was when Gene Simmons blew fire at the zombies, and when it hit them, it was just this big pixel. That was great.
We didn't have the greatest copy of this because it's not available on DVD right now. It is if you buy Kissology 2. I think it has the... Because this was released on TV. I'm not totally sure what network. NBC, ABC, CBS, one of the three, because that's what there was back in 1978 when the film came out. Released on TV in North America, but in Europe it came out in some theaters. Had a different name. Didn't have Kiss in the name, but of course, I'm sure the marketing showed that they were in it. Why else are you going to go see it? But I was trying to make a point there, and I totally forgot about it.
How many times do you think they said the word cat in this movie?
Lots of cat puns. I think they missed the boat on a bunch of Kiss puns too with songs. I mean, there's a barbershop quartet, and they're singing barbershop, and they really could have had them sing a Kiss song. It would have been great.
It's funny you mention Peter Criss not showing up for the voiceovers, because I've done some reading about this from the various Kiss autobiographies that came out, and they said they were so bloated and had so much success and excess at that point that Ace is constantly drunk and high in his trailer, can't remember his lines. Gene's off chasing the girls. Peter Criss is barely there from his drug habit, and so the director's like trying to get all four of them on the set at the same time in the available light, because they were filming it in the morning before the park opened, so it was always dark and they're always just ready to go to bed or whatever, and tired after the partying all night or whatever, so they said it was a nightmare to film. I think that kind of showed a little bit in the dialogue.
Probably had to hire like 10 handlers just to get them on set.
Get this one sentence ace. Can you
Good enough. Can't do it. Cut, print, whatever. Fucking.
He probably had like a whole line there, and he just kept fucking it up. So just say
That's so true.
Let's talk about Kiss's introduction to the film. What's the fun animation there?
Paul Stanley comes walking in on the laser beam that he shoots from his eye.
That's money.
Then his eye shoots Gene in, and Gene breathes fire.
Growls like a tiger.
Yeah. Speaking of dialogue, he growls a lot.
Those,
Paul had the most dialogue in the film and delivered it, pretty good, I guess. as far as the rest of the acting in the film goes, he wasn't bad.
Now, I've got one major beef with this movie, and let it be known while the movie was going on. I said halfway through that if this guy comes back to life, because what happens is the mad scientist steals the main character's boyfriend to use him as a robotic assistant or whatever, and so he programs the guy, and you see in his workshop there's body parts, and the body parts all have these like mechanical computer mechanisms coming off of them. There's a head with a computer port coming out the bottom of it, and all this guy had was like a capacitor stuck on the side of his neck, and at the end of the movie all they had to do to bring him back to life was just pull it off and he was good.
Yeah, you were really upset by that.
I was able to look past everything else except for that.
That's bullshit, because you saw him. He took the heads off of other people and fucking had computers implanted in their heads. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. Ruins the whole movie.
At that point it's too much.
That's the line.
Yeah.
They crossed.
That's the line right there.
Let's just jump to some of our favorite scenes, or most entertaining scenes, I suppose, in the film. Some of the fight scenes were fantastic. When they're fighting the I don't even know what to call them. What
The monkey men or
things?
the
Whatever.
Planet of the Ape Cats.
Albino werewolf.
Well, yeah,
Albino werewolf.
yeah.
Yeah, whoever was doing the stunt work for Ace, some really great like backflips and stuff like that. He was, and I never noticed, but I assume he was still wearing those big ass fucking heels while he was doing those
shoes,
shits. Yeah.
There was the one stuntman that didn't look anything like Gene Simmons, even with the makeup on.
Yeah. I like how they didn't really even explain anything, and then all of a sudden Gene Simmons just breaks through a wall and beats up a bunch of cops. It's like, oh, he's enjoying his downtime between sets.
Oh, one of my favorite scenes was the pool scene when they confront them after the robotic Kiss
good
Man
scene.
goes on the rampage and injures all these officers. And then they bring the officers that got injured back to Kiss to finger point and say, "Yeah, it was them." And they're like, "No, they make $200,000 a night. Wait till after their shows."
It's business, big business talk.
Sounds like a promoter. I don't know.
And then that one scene when they're all serenading the main character, the girl with Beth.
Yeah.
She
When
just
she
walks
stood up.
away.
Yeah, exactly. When she stood up, I thought, I was like, she's gonna go drown herself.
There was also the Kiss talisman that gave them their superpowers.
Yeah.
Because of course they have superpowers in this
I
one.
couldn't figure
They
out.
screwed up halfway through Beth because the guy touched the talisman.
Yeah.
That's right.
Plon, plon.
I couldn't figure out what Peter Criss's superpower was. Did he even have one?
He goes, "Row, row."
Yeah, no, I mean Ace could make people disappear. He did this and everyone
Teleport.
just
He could jump over a high fence. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that was cool.
But the-
That was cool. Gene Simmons could do that too, though.
Yeah, Gene Simmons, he had fire.
Fire. Star Child had the laser eye.
Yeah.
But what did Peter Criss do? He just kind of waved his arms, air drummed a lot.
In the intro.
He walked around in a circle and lied down.
He was disinterested in it, like a real cat. What else can we talk about in this film? Well, the music. Now, I'm a Kiss fan. I know JP's a Kiss fan. Wes, not so much.
Yeah.
James, not at all.
Not at all.
No. So I enjoyed the musical performance part of it. Some of it really sounded like it was pretty live because some of those vocals weren't on par.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they filmed the scenes in the morning before
Yeah.
the park opened, and then they actually did concerts to get concert footage in the
Yeah.
evening. It was filmed at the Real Magic Mountain, apparently,
Yeah.
according to the box here.
According to the bootleg box.
The bootleg box.
Yeah.
So it must be official.
I'm sure Gene Simmons milked it for all it was worth.
He must be pretty embarrassed because this isn't available to buy on Blu-ray.
Yes, if Gene won't sell it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, Gene, sell this popcorn maker. Okay, sell
was
this
the-
Kiss
Gene,
Blu-ray.
sell this movie that you were
Oh
in.
no, I've got to think of what I want.
Kiss will put their names on everything from condoms to caskets. I don't know. They won't release this film.
What was the quote that you said from them? It was like, they
All 4 Kiss members deeply regretted they acted in it.
Deeply regret.
It's not just regret, it's deep regret.
It makes my joke funnier from earlier.
deep regret.
That's the best way to describe this movie, I think. Deep
Yeah.
regret. Everybody involved.
There was one line there. I think it was they were going down into like the mad scientist layer, and I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been like Peter Criss or something. He's like, something's wrong. Yeah, that's what the movie should have been called.
Would you recommend the movie? I guess.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, in 1978, the Woody Allen romantic comedy Annie Hall won Best Oscar, and I was pissed off that this movie didn't win Best Oscar. No, but
It's for the Annie Hall reference because
no, on a more serious note. Okay, if you're a diehard Kiss fan and have a bit of Kiss nostalgia, yeah, check it out online or wherever you can find it. But as a standalone movie for maybe someone who didn't grow up with Kiss, like, you could probably save your time and watch something else.
Wes, what do you think? Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I mean, if you like campy bad dialogue, and like, yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'd recommend it. I want other people to suffer too. If I had to go through it, they do too.
But they have that saying where I wouldn't wish this upon my worst enemy. And, I think I probably would wish this upon my worst enemy. You have to check this out, man.
You'll love it. It's so good.
2 hours you'll never get back.
So we have one no, one yes, and one maybe. So it's a good balance. Yeah.
I would recommend it. I bought it twice now in my lifetime on VHS, and I really had to look hard to find it on DVD.
Yeah.
I had to find a bootleg copy at a Comic Con. Because you can't even really find it online. It's hard to find a downloadable copy of it that is not out of sync and terrible. This one looked terrible too.
The framing is weird.
Yeah, for some reason it didn't frame right on the TV. I've seen really good footage of it, so it exists. There's high def, or as
Like
high def as you can
remastered,
get
yeah.
of this film. So I would like to see it like that, especially some of those darker scenes would have looked a lot better. I'd recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to, with a bunch of friends, sit down, have a couple of beers and watch it.
Totally.
Watch it by yourself is not a good idea, I don't think. You're going to have a bad time.
Collectively, I think it took us 12 beers to get through this movie.
Each.
Okay, guys, before we go, is there any plugs? JP, there's one on your shirt.
My new shirt, Megawatt Mayhem, where we will play Kiss once in a blue moon.
No sports, no religion, no politics. Just 100% heavy metal.
We'll do a quick shameless plug of the back here for the. How about that?
Sweet. Wes.
ES is working on our new album, so it should be coming out in spring.
Where can our viewers find some exit strategy music?
Just go into our Facebook. I think there's a link to Bandcamp there, and you can go on there and listen to all 3 of the albums. Yeah,
Nice.
James.
I play in Gales of Avalon with Mark, and we're going to be releasing an album sometime this year. I also just started singing for Carrion King, and I don't know if there's anything going to be recorded for that anytime soon, but
There is a
We'll go
Facebook
for it.
page, though.
there is a Facebook page. Check it out. Facebook Carrion King. You get to see pictures. You can't hear music. You get to see pictures.
Hey guys, I'd like to thank you for joining us once again for Real Metal. It's always a lot of fun. If you have any suggestions on movies you'd like us to cover, please leave a comment. And if you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button and share it as well. Now I'm just going to cough. So how do we close out this episode?
we say, what are you waiting for, Ace?
Ding. Maybe we can all look and see if we can all look at the camera and
then
see
it'll all
if we really
zoom in.
concentrate. Maybe we can get that Star Child eye effect.
That's right.
I'm the one that gets to dance on it, though.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us once again. And ack.
What a crock of shit. Like, really?